Sorry about that. So my name is RGolden, and this is my study on human sustainability. When I was first deciding on a topic for my research project, I knew that I wanted to do something related to the environment. And more specifically, I wanted to work with wildlife conservation. And I knew that Nelson County had a lot of opportunities and programs in which I could find the information I needed for my research. But as I was sort of trying to narrow down my topic, I realized that I had some more questions that were different from what I had originally intended. I was wondering why we even need wildlife conservation and why we need to protect the natural landscape of our planet. And I found that the reason for this is human interference. And the main driving force behind wildlife conservation is that humans are destroying our natural habitats. And so I really I didn't change my topic, but I included both the wildlife conservationist perspective towards upkeeping our natural habitats with also how humans relate to their environment and behave with it. So sustainability is using our natural resources wisely in the short term so that resources are available in the long term. And this is an important definition to know because knowing this will help us change it for the better. So the research question that I felt most compelled to answer in my research was how can humans live more sustainably? Because I knew that our relationship with our environment is not as good as it could have been. Looking at the history of how humans have behaved with their environment, we have sort of gone downhill into how we view the environment, and I really thought that this would be a good question to answer. So this is a quote that I felt really fit in with my project. It's by Carl Sagan, and it says, "Our species needs and deserves a citizenry with minds wide awake and a basic understanding of how the world works." And this is one of the underlying concepts of sustainability, because we truly need to understand how the environment works in order to change it for the better. And this is a picture that was published in Life magazine in 1955. I researched the history of humans and the environment and their relationships with it. And this truly was the beginning of the way that we perceive the environment in a modern sort of sense. This was a 2-page article that outlined the benefits and exciting new trend of being able to just throw things away. Housewives need not wash dishes because they could just buy tinfoil things and then just throw them away so they wouldn't have to do dishes. And this paired with the baby boom resulted in a massive amount of garbage that ended up in landfills and ended up destroying a lot of the environment. But on a lighter note, we are definitely getting better at understanding our environment and getting a better relationship with it. People realized probably about 2000 that we truly are impacting the environment in a negative way. There are many species that have gone extinct within our lifetimes, and it has been traced back to human events. And so in 1960, the recycling rates in the United States were at almost zero. It was at 6.4%, but the population back then was also not as big as it is now, so that was not a lot of recycling. But in 2013, more than 1 out of 3 people are recycling everything that they possibly can. And so we really have come a long way in improving our relationship, but we still do have a long way to go. This is my favorite slide. So one of the biggest accomplishments that our country has had in achieving a more sustainable lifestyle is that the state of California, which is one of the most populous states in the country, has finally outlawed these plastic grocery bags. And the reason for this is that these bags are notorious for being terrible for the environment. A lot of the times when these don't end up in landfills, they end up in the ocean, and when they're floating around in the water, a lot of sea turtles and other animals think that they are jellyfish. And so these animals will eat them, and it fills them up because the plastic is filling up their stomach. And then they actually end up starving because they don't think that they need food. And so the fact that these are outlawed now is really, really great. And so for my internship, I interned at the Ivy Creek Foundation in Charlottesville, Virginia. I worked with my mentor, Bruce Gatling Austin, who is the educational coordinator at Ivy Creek. And I participated in a lot of events there. I did a lot of note-taking on how the foundation works and all of the things that they do to promote sustainability and educate people into how the environment works. And this is a picture from one of the events that I attended. It's called the Little Naturalist Nature Walk. And the tour guide, who was a master naturalist, and her name was also Rachel, she taught all of the kids about anything that they saw, and we're like, what's that? She would explain it to them and say, this is what it does, here are the things that it eats, here's the plants that it needs. So these kids are looking at a praying mantis on a leaf, and a lot of them hadn't seen one before, and it was just, it was really fun, but then the praying mantis actually like flew onto the girl's shirt and then started freaking out. So, so hopefully she doesn't hate praying mantises anymore, but it was really cool because they got to see that this crazy little thing is something that exists and is right where they live. And so this was a really great opportunity that outlined one of the most important things, which is becoming aware of our environment and knowing that these things exist. And I did my community service in Nelson County at the Rockfish Wildlife Sanctuary. This here is a picture of my mentor, Jesse Cole, with one of the permanent residents of the sanctuary. His name is Jack. He is a one-eyed red-tailed hawk. You can't see where he's missing his eye, but Jesse is training him to be more like a falcon, I guess, to do like cool things. He's kind of the mascot of the sanctuary, but I did a lot more hands-on work with my community service. I helped feed animals, and I actually helped restore some of the habitats that they have there, some of the like places where they keep the animals before they rehabilitate them back out into the wild. And this year, I did my community service from February to late March, and I was actually there to see the first baby squirrel of the season, which was really great. So this here's a picture of Jessie feeding the baby squirrel. She actually taught me how to feed them, and I've been doing that for a while. But I didn't get a picture of that because you have to use 2 hands. So it was really great to be here. Now they have about like 12 or 13 baby squirrels now, so it was really exciting to be there right when the season was first starting to now it's in full bloom for spring. And it was it was a really great opportunity to work with the sanctuary and also with Ivy Creek because it allowed me to see from the conservationist perspective how these organizations are helping our environment. And in hindsight, for my project, I probably would have started earlier, especially because mine was centered around the environment, and by the fall and the winter, I wasn't really able to do a lot with it because everything was dead. So I probably would have started it in the summer, for sure. And I definitely wouldn't have changed my topic or anything, but I might have wanted to be more specific with some of the things. But overall, I really loved everything that I did. And some advice for people who are probably going to do this in the years to come, you definitely should start early, especially if you're doing an environmental-based project. And yeah, and just make sure that you're doing something that you really love to do, because I think that will result in a really quality project. And for my future, I am going to the College of William & Mary to study biology and environmental studies. And yeah, thank you all. Oh, are there any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I think this is a really interesting and a timely topic, and I clearly see both the benefit and the significance of your questions regarding recycling, wildlife conservation, human sustainability, as well as the benefit and significance of your community service. But my question is, what do you believe is the lasting impact of this project? For example, how does this change the community around you or the place where you volunteered? Essentially, has your mark been indelible, or does it end with the end of your community service at the wildlife sanctuary?
I hope that it does not end. I really, I did a lot of work helping them build new habitats for the animals there, so that they're just starting right where they are now. They have like new facilities and stuff, and so they're still expanding because uh, they are still building sanctuaries for each individual animal, and so I helped build new habitats for the animals, and I hope that those last a very long time. And I think that helping feed animals and make sure that they are all healthy and stuff prolongs the life of them and helps them contribute to the biodiverse community in which they live. Yeah.
Rachel, could you give us an example of like what some of the animals that you built the habitats for and what you had to do to actually do that?
Oh yeah, so my project that I'm mostly focused on, they have these really big things that look kind of like birdhouses, but they're actually for the squirrels, and they usually have a lot of squirrels there in the spring and summer. And so I helped clean them out and like sort through which ones were in need of just being thrown away or repaired. And so I helped just get the materials for that, and then find out how many we needed, and yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Are there any more questions?